All right, let's go ahead and break down this Tuesday recap, guys, and take a look at some of this price action and see what we got for today. So we marked our key levels here, so we have them marked. It was kind of interesting to see the breakdown trigger and the daily support actually lined up in the same area here. So that was a major line. We also looked at the high and the low that we always mark out. As you can see that right here was the high, which was interesting. It was the first part of the day, and then pretty much the end of the day was the low. But the low also lined up right through here. And then we had the 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So that 4-hour fixed range volume profile that we set on the chart, it lined up as well right in this key area. So really you're looking at around 103,650 roughly for this major support in the morning. Then you had 30-minute candle marked as well. And then way up here you had the breakout trigger and then our daily resistance. We were below here on the 15-minute. One thing we always point out, if you're below the 21 and the 200, you're kind of bearish. If you're in between, you're kind of neutral. So we are watching this kind of play out. The way this was setting up, it definitely was testing this lower area, and this run up here in the morning could not get any energy here, and definitely started to break down and started to fall out here on this candle. And for what we were looking at, what we went into was the same thing on the. As we started to fall through it, that was a good entry. Now you could have gone in a little bit earlier, like you can see that I did here. That's normally I like to see this close and show that we're going to hold. So this would have been a better, safer entry right through here. If you're looking at it, this would have been a safer entry. Granted, if you were going to take that safer entry, you could have came back in this area and took advantage of this trade. Now this did show that it wanted to run down into this 98,000 level for BTC, and a lot of people are stressing out. There's some things that I can talk about with you that we can start looking at a little more in this recap and point out as where we are kind of finding some possible support or where are we going to go at this point. Now with this trade though, you can see it tried to run down and then it started to reverse. So this was kind of the move here on this breakdown right through this area. And then we tried to trade it into the evening. You can see also it started to come back up into this area where it got out and then started to create the same thing. It started to break up against this area. Typically, I wouldn't suggest to get into this just because it's later into the afternoon. But based on the price action and the way it was setting up, I actually am in this as well because you're under the 200 and you're under the 21, which is bearish. Now, the reason why I'm looking at this is the higher time frames have all the pressure. When I say pressure, that you're underneath the 200 and the 21 on the 4-hour all the way up, really to the daily, you're in the same negative state and all this bearish pressure. So if you're looking at where are we at in the market, right now we have bearish pressure. We've lost these bigger areas here on the weekly. So this is what I was talking about for support. So you have the support right up through here, and then you have the support up here through the top. We would expect this to break out. And this is the reason why I like to go out to the longer time frames and kind of mark them up so I can see them way before this. So I already had these marked on this as well for this area to see if we were going to break out. Now this weekly right now is broken down out of this trend line, and we are looking for a lower bottom here for us to break down. There are some support areas that just, even if we broke down to this area right through here and came down to this 92, let's go ahead and go back out to this, or go back down into the daily a little bit. You can see that there is some areas of support through here that could hold it. We could get back down into this lower area and still hold a trend. There is a bigger trend here that we have to start to lose before then, before we get too nervous or how we're going to start flipping bearish. Things could definitely start to play out. The daily as of right now is getting close to showing a bottom here. We would like to start seeing this rotate. If you really want to start watching this, start watching the 22-hour. It's already got the bottom on the Stoches. Now this could trade out, so we could get a close. This could be a little bit lower throughout the day, trade in this bottoming area, and then we can start seeing the 22 start to turn, which would more than likely play out the rest of this daily behavior that we're looking at. The 4-hour already does show that it's exhausted. It tried to rotate through the day today, and then you can see it transitioned on down here. We also had finished out the RSI on the drop, which that's what I'd like to see. To be honest, I'm glad that we're kind of in this transition. Let's clean this up. And then here on the 1-hour, we kind of had a rougher run. Now we're already bottoming them out, and it looks like we're really just asking the longer time frames to get to the area that we're looking for support. And we're kind of starting to sit in those lower areas now. So if you're still wanting to short here, I would start to say pay attention and be careful because you've already bled a lot of it out. And it's been a hard bleed. We've had the drop and then it tried a hard time and then the drop. right? So we are getting the fear in the market. There's a lot going on. But this is also when you want to start paying attention of when to purchase and take advantage in dollar cost average in, that kind of stuff. Well, once we broke the 100,000, that would have been a great place to dollar cost average in. This is just not financial advice, but if you're reading the chart and analyzing data, it's just kind of more of a way to learn when you want to start adding capital into the market. Obviously, the 100,000, that was a great place to add capital. Anywhere below this level, you could start integrating more dry powder, more capital in the market. And that's why I'm looking at the longer time frames with you, because we could add more capital now. This trend could go down pretty far. You could even get back down into this, even down into the 80, 78, really before we start losing the up run that we're in. So this could rotate quite a bit. You could even see a ugly spike, down here. I'm not going to say where it's going to go, but we could see an ugly spike transition, in the longer time frames, right? In the monthly. We could zoom in and look at the monthly as well. You can see that how the monthly reacts, right? It trades, breaks up, then kind of broke down. Now we're kind of trading it. So it almost is kind of in the same behavior right here. And you can even see how this monthly wick down. This would have been very ugly right here on this candle. So it came all the way down low at 48.910. I do remember this. And I remember a lot of people saying this is it. We're going to lose this whole trend and it's over with. And then boom, we ripped up. So you could see the same kind of behavior right now on these candles, and we're just getting started on the month. It's only the 4th. This could trade on down and hit, even down into some ugly behavior patterns. I have the bigger time frame kind of marked here. I have 93. We could come down in somewhere else in these patterns, and then all in 1 month it can right back up and close right in this current trend line that you see here that we drew, and then all of a sudden now we're back up into this, and boom, we're breaking out. Think about the longer time frames and really start looking at, do I want to start adding to them? A lot of the Stoches and everything are all bottomed out. This MACD could easily start to come down and rotate here. This could come neutral and start to rotate. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And those are the signs of, okay, now we're rounding out the bottom. And if we're going to start to round out the bottom, then you're going to start looking for the reversal or that up behavior that everybody kind of wants to see, this bullish behavior. So what you don't want to do is wait till it already gets back up to 120,000 and then you start adding into your investment. Don't be that kind of trader, is what I would suggest. Start being more proactive and taking advantage of the market. And that's why I'm pointing this out, to help you dollar cost average in if that's what you decided to do, and you can make a sound decision of why you want to do that. Definitely start to go out to the longer time frames and kind of mark it out the way I was kind of showing you, and then you kind of decide what you want to do. But something definitely that could be a little more helpful for you when you're trying to look at this ugly pattern and this a lot of this news and this behavior and frustration that a lot of people are in right now. When things start to come down, a lot of negative behavior and attitudes come in the market, and a lot of people start to back away and they put their hands up and say, yes, it doesn't work and I don't want to do this. And the sad thing is 2 months from now, you look back and you're like, I could have, should have, would have. So don't be that person. Analyze the charts, mark them up, know what we're talking about, and take advantage of the opportunities that we presented. So a lot of people said we never go below 100,000 again before we go up to the top. But yet again, right now, you're sitting right under the 100,000 mark right now. And how many people are willing to buy here, we'll have to see. So that's about it, guys, for wrapping up the recap. Like and subscribe. Pay attention. We do the live streams that look at these key levels, analyzing, learn how to do price action. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do in this channel, is learn how to study the price, learn how to put the levels in the charts, learn how to trade off of those levels, look for support and resistance, time frames, and look at the bigger picture. So if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. We can help you out from there. The other thing is we have quite a few videos on the channel that talk about all different levels of trading. And like I said, our goal isn't to be the nice shiny object that we have seen that many people do in this network, if you will, of trading. You see a lot of people constantly are just throwing out, I did this, I did that, or I called the bottom, or I called this double top, that kind of stuff. You always see people posting an X on that. That's not our style. That's not what we're going to do. Our goal is to help encourage you with all the material that's out there, all the books that are out there on how to trade. Can get overwhelming. The other thing is just how do you put it in action, and that's our goal here. So if you're studying that kind of on how to be a trader and you're trying to learn how to read this price action and really take advantage of it, that's our end goal in this channel. So hopefully if you're willing to ask questions and grow and further yourself as a trader and reading charts, because once you learn how to do this, it doesn't really matter what you go out to. Right now, we always talk about BTC because that's what it is consistency. I would suggest if you really want to improve yourself is to stick to one chart, one asset, whatever it is, and really get good at it. And then you can start to take those abilities or those skill sets and take them to other charts. So Anyways, guys, that's about it. That's kind of give you a little insight of what Kabroda is really about and why we do this. I know people they're like, hey, well, can you just tell me the trades? The nice thing is once you learn how to use that fish, right? Tie the hooks, bait the hook, cast it, reel it. You know how to interact with fish, how to read the water. Once you learn how to do all that, it's enjoyable because you can go out and just catch fish when you want it, right? That's our goal as well with this, is to teach you how to analyze charts and take advantage of price action, and that way, no matter where you go in any market, you can do the same thing. So anyways, guys, we will see you in the next recap. Thank you, and we will talk to you soon.